All right, ladies and gents, the voice of Final Combat, the host of Final Combat, all-around commentator extraordinaire, Tampa never sleeps, Tento. Tento, how you doing, man?
I'm all good. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Make sure
Yeah,
the audio is looking. Do I sound good?
yeah, you sound good. You
Okay.
look good.
Appreciate,
No
appreciate,
complaints.
appreciate.
You're making me look bad, so
No, no,
you're
no. I
doing
could
well.
never do that. You got a nice bandana, bro. I want that bandana, man.
I I'm trying to remember. I bought like a bunch of them because like I've been on this like 80s kick, right? So I bought like a bunch of bandanas and headbands and shit. Like I even have a Karate Kid one. Uh,
Oh shit.
but yeah, it all spawned from me watching Kurt Russell movies. That thing, Kurt Russell. But Tento, so what are your thoughts about Bison coming up? You're a Street Fighter 6 guy.
You
Like,
know, I was one of those dudes that was mad about it because I'm like, he's dead. Like, why is he coming back? Like, I know they be like, it's a video game. You know, they can bring it back whenever they. Bro, you have so many rooms for so many other characters, bro.
mm-hmm.
I want to see Hugo. God damn it, I want to see Abel. Like, I want to see some. I don't know. God forbid, we don't want to see El Frote with fucking Drive Rush at all. But like, I really feel like we already had a boss character being Akuma already come back. Like, I feel like that was throwback enough. Now you give us two boss characters here. I'm like, I know y'all got love for the character and he got a lot of favoritism, but like me personally, I'm just like, bro, you could have got someone else, bro. Like,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I feel like, especially man, like being announced next to like some crazy ass characters like Terry and Mai. It's like Terry, Mai,
Yeah,
Elena, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh no, PTSD from from Street Fighter 4."
like
Elena,
Jesus Christ.
and then Bipson.
Like it's I just truthfully like you know what's crazy? I might even get like crucified for this, but I even take Yun, bro. Like honestly, like I just like please why Bison? That's just me personally. I'm sorry guys, but that's just how I feel about it, bro. Just it we gotta accept what we got. But Terry and May being in there is really really cool in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's crazy.
Like that is definitely like that's definitely making people think about like the crossovers that could happen in the future, especially if it can bring in maybe possibly Tekken characters or more characters from other SNK type of things. It's a beautiful thing in my opinion. I know some people get upset about guest characters, but I think about with those two being added, the possibilities can actually grow with certain characters that I know people would like to be as
Mhm.
guest characters. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and seeing Capcom and SNK working together again is like such a huge deal after like the fallout after CVS. So
Yes.
maybe there's hope for the future. I don't know.
Yes.
These past couple weeks, man, with the MVC thing and now with the SVC thing, like future's looking bright
And
for
then
the
that game,
FVC,
Mark of the
man.
Wolves. I think
Yeah.
it's Mark of the Wolves. That game too. That like that other game looks amazing as well.
Yeah.
So like we in a prime time fighting game era. Like all fighting games around. Like I'm a fighting game lover. We're in a good place. Like
Yeah.
we got Mark of the Wolves. We got Project L. I'm not calling it 2XKL. Fuck that name. And we just have like so many good fighting games that's going to be coming out in the future. Like we're just in a good position. Like truthfully.
Yeah, no, I've been calling that the project formerly named L, or formerly known as L. But actually, so before we get into recent stuff, I want to kind of dig into like your start in the FGC, and this actually lines up with I had some people submit some questions in our Discord. And if you're outside of the Discord and you want to join the Best of 5 Discord, you can go to discord.bestovshow.com. You can hop in there. But I was saying that to the chat, not you. You don't have to be in there unless you want to. Unless you want to.
I want to be in there.
Yeah, it's a cool hang. So PB Tuft, who's one of our producers here, he helps out with a bunch of stuff in the back, on behind the scenes. He wanted to know.
Always in the background, working so hard. All you guys in production are amazing.
Yeah, dude. No, it's hit. We have him. We have Blue, who runs the AFGC Twitter. So we're very lucky that Blue is like our social media and YouTube manager. Like we're all just kind of like, it's like a group of like misfits, like working together towards a greater goal. It's really fucking cool. But anyway. We have a question for you. And like, what was the first fighting game that really like kind of grabbed your attention that made you a fighting game person?
Well, if you guys don't know, I am based as a Mortal Kombat commentator. So it's two answers to that. So Mortal Kombat Armageddon was the first like fighting game where I was like, I had started heavily investing myself in Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. When I was playing that, I hate Mavado still to this day because how much torture he put me through as a child. But actually, the fighting game that actually got me into the FGC was actually Street Fighter 4. So I don't know if you remember when Xbox had the thing with Xbox 360, they had Xbox Games Free with Gold every month. They
Yeah.
gave us Street Fighter 4 for free, and me and my group of friends in high school all like started playing it. But me and one of my other friends, me and him kind of like deep dove into it, and like we really learned. I learned about like frame data, like how the different health bars work. And I was on shoryuken.com. I know I just did a throwback for some people, looking at every goddamn tournament every weekend. And every weekend I made sure I had my homework and everything done. And I'm watching Canada Cup, SCR, NCR, Topanga, any tournament I can watch, and I had the ability to watch it. I was just watching any of them. So Street Fighter 4 was definitely that fighting game where I was like, yeah, I kind of want to dive into this FGC stuff.
Hell yeah. And you mentioned Deception, man. That I think that was also like the first like Mortal Kombat game where I was like, whoa, fighting games are deep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there, dude. Yeah. Also, like was Deception the one with Conquest? With the Conquest
Deception.
mode?
Deception introduced Conquest. I didn't play Deception. I played Armageddon.
Oh, Armageddon. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Deception is the one that introduced Conquest, yes, but I played Armageddon the most when I was younger because I just loved. I hope they bring Conquest back, and it had Motor Combat.
Dude,
like, the go karts, like that shit was amazing. I played the hell out of that, like
dude,
truthfully.
I wouldn't doubt that we may have played because I played on so much that like I had a core group of friends that we met through just Mortal Combat Kart. It was just Combat Kart, nothing else. We would just hang out, play the shit out of it. And then like once I remember like we all started getting PlayStation 3, so then we switched to PlayStation 3 and we started playing games there. So like if it wasn't for Kart Combat or whatever the hell it was called, I wouldn't have a core group of friends.
They need to bring that back. And Conquest. Those are two things. Like Conquest would be really nice as a story, and Motor Combat is just like that's just a nice little fun activity. Even chess combat, bring that back.
Dude,
like
yeah,
it's nice to have like side like it's great having side mini games that you can play with your games and whatnot. Like there's some people that literally play some like exclusively get some games just for the mini games that they have on the side. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And dude, I think I played Motor Combat like way more than I actually played Armageddon in general.
Literally,
So,
like
yeah.
same for me. Same for me. Like I love the Conquest. Don't get me wrong, but like I was with my cousins and we were in the living room playing. We're taking turns playing Motor Combat against each other. So
Yeah.
yes, please do like bring that back.
I want to see more of that, please. And also, I think they had like a puzzle combat too.
Yeah, it was like puzzle, chess, and then motor, and then there was one other thing I think I'm forgetting too. But yeah, they had like those mini games. Like we lost that art. Is everyone's thinking about fighting? Like there's so many good mini games. Like Street Fighter 6 kind of does that too. With the stream battles is actually really like fucking fun. Like I actually like the stream battles. That's actually Street Fighter 6, and they have like plenty of content. It's like when you go into the battle hub, they got like Mega Man and whatnot that you can play on the side. Bring the stuff like that. That's really cool. That is really cool. Bring stuff like that back.
And it's crazy that it makes you play the game for longer because when you're getting pissed off at the fighting game, you could just go do something else.
You literally go someplace like you can beat up a car, okay? You can beat up a goddamn car. That is amazing. Like, bro, forget this insurance. It's too high. Beat the car. Like, that's amazing.
Don't beat up your controller. Beat up the car.
Exactly.
So I wanted to ask, and I love asking this question to commentators because I feel like it gives me a little insight into how your brain works. But with doing commentary, do you see fighting games different now that you're a commentator?
Yes and no. Yes, because like of course I had to explain some situations that happen on the screen to some people, and I'm really big on like trying to accommodate for the casual audience that like a lot of people know fighting games button mashing. They know the basis of it's one of the easiest things to watch when it comes to like gaming wise because it's like whoever health bar goes down first, they lost. But explaining a deep dive into it, that's when it's kind of get complicated. But at the same time, I'm still having fun with it. You know, like it's still like it's a thing I love to do, and I'm just happy to be here type thing. Like I'm just happy to like be in the position where I could just commentate and give like entertainment to people that's has the same passion for me. I could just talk about it. So that's why I was just saying that. It's just like yes and no. Like I have to explain things, but like I'm no because I'm still having a good time while doing it. You know.
Yeah. Do you think it's changed how you play the game?
A tad. It's certain things I think about scenario. Like when I think about why my biggest thing for commentary is like I know I could beat somebody's ass in a fighting game. I want to explain to why someone else is getting their ass beat. So like I do go into situations where I see like I do a lot of things like when I stream, we'll watch a tournament, and I'll usually have the game booted up on the side. And then between like matches, I'm like, hey, that specific scenario, we're gonna lab that really quickly and see what he did wrong, like in between when they're going to another match, so we can just see like that type of thing. Like, what was the decision making? What was the options? Like, you like, why would they do that? You put yourself in that situation. Like, he was looking out for this. It was a mind game that we didn't notice that they were doing, and that was an option that you didn't think about. But that's what that like. I do things like that. So, and against yeah, it did make me change my gameplay just a tad bit on certain things because I had to think from the competitor side of me rather than just the commentary / spectator side of me.
Gotcha. Oh, that's awesome. So how did it feel going from playing Armageddon to being the host of the finals of the first Mortal Kombat 1 tour season? How'd that whole thing go down?
It was crazy, to be honest, because I'm considered what's what some people call a quarantine commentator. So like during quarantine, like a lot of people came up during commentary because we had nothing to do. So shout out to MF Slayer. Slayer had the thing called Demon Lobby. I mean Demon Hours, where like everyone's sleep schedule was fucked during quarantine. So at 2 a.m., like he'll just do a King of the Hill and like have random players come through, and they will be just talk about life things, what quarantine day it was, and like just be chilling and playing. And then he started doing exhibitions and tournaments during that time, and I started commentating that. And then over time, I got my first ever commentary position was at Frosty, and then I had got my first big break at CEO 2021. Also, an event, a BGX Retribution that was in Philly, and then that's when I started getting my CEO was really when the ball started moving, and I started gaining momentum. And then I just honestly just put myself out there, make sure I'm doing online tournaments, giving back to the community. I don't mean to get too deep, but the community, the FGC quite literally did save my life when I was in a dark time. So my passion for commentary is really just me trying to give back in the way I can with just commentary and just using my voice for entertainment. So yeah, it's just like the event after event after the event. And then big shouts to my mentor, Mr. Aqua, Aquaman. He does the Coliseum on YouTube, but he asked me, I want you to co-host with me for MK11. I was doing it with him, and he says, hey, you're doing a really good job. You developed yourself. You're looking pretty good when it comes to the NRS folks. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. And then NRS Esports ended up following me. I was like, oh, he was serious. They like me. And then MK1 came out, and I got my first offer with ECT when the Pro Comp has started, and they said you're on the Pro competition. I was like, oh shit, this is happening. I did it. They liked me. I was like, I thank you. And then they was like, we want you to be the host. And I was like, huh? They was like, yeah, you don't have the quite seniority yet. You don't have like the experience that because you're just starting here, but we don't want to leave you out. So we're gonna make you the host for the event. I was like, oh, okay. You're gonna interview Ed Boon. Wait, what? Huh? What do you mean I'm interviewing Ed Boon? Yeah, you're interviewing Ed Boon. I was like, oh shit. But I know I don't want to be too harsh on myself when it comes to the hosting because that was my first ever time hosting, and I have a lot to learn, of course, for what it's worth. But I'm happy with the experience I got. I appreciate all the constructive criticisms that I got as well. I know I'm not perfect, but I know I could be better. But then again, I'm trying not to be too hard on myself because it literally was my first hosting. But I had a great time nonetheless. That was my first time traveling outside of the country. I've never traveled anywhere else in the States. That was my first time
it was in
going to
Canada, right?
Yeah, I've never left out the 48 states. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Puerto Rico. I've never left the 48 at all. So that was big for me too. So it was honestly a great time. And that journey has been a beautiful thing. And I'm very appreciative of all the people that helped me. Shout out to Low Kick, Ham in there that gave me the opportunities. Aqua, Slayer, Viz, like all of those guys. They really did help me get to where I am.
Hell yeah. Also, just to put this on the record, I think you did a great job hosting Final Kombat. Just wanted to put that out.
Appreciate that.
And I'm also like I have a music background, so like I'm always like super not self-deprecating, but like you know what I mean. Like I'm like you, where it's like, oh, I could like this can be improved, like we can do this better next time, instead of like just
like you
enjoying...
always your biggest critique is always like I always tell people it was like you look at yourself and you're always going to be able to point out your flaws in the mirror, but people are not going to see that because they don't see you every day.
Yeah.
They see you doing your thing and then what you do out there, and they're gonna see the best parts of you usually because you present yourself the way you present yourself. You're always gonna see the pimple on your forehead
Hmm.
because you look at your mirror self every day. And I was telling, I was like, small little tangent, but like I remember, I'll never forget, I was at work and I was talking to my coworker, like, hey, you look nice today. And she says, you don't see this fat ass pimple on my forehead? I'm like, no, I didn't notice that until you said it. But since you look at yourself all the time, you are of course going to call that out. But I didn't notice that until you pointed it out, and that's a big thing you got to take into account of.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and it's all like something I've learned recently is like about celebrating your own wins. That's like for whatever reason that's the
yes,
hardest thing to do. So celebrate your win, man. You did a great job at Final Kombat. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate that.
I don't know if you did this on purpose, but your deep voice like really fit the mood, especially because it's Mortal Kombat, right? So
Yeah, that was definitely a factor. Well, I feel like they felt it was great for certain things when it came to announcing certain parts. And I was looking at the tone. I was so happy during the rehearsal they gave me the chance to go out there and then be on the stage and whatnot. I'm seeing the presence of the stage, and I was like trying to coordinate with also my outfits as well.
mhm.
So I was like, I gotta. I'm in the tone of like this, especially like when I gave the idea. I'm like, wait, can I sit in that chair? Can I get a book and can I like read like a story? Because that is that
Good.
cool? Can I do that? And because like we're looking at the tale unfold of Final Combat to see who's going to be the first champion. That's why I got out the book and read that as well. So I'm very
Hell
happy
yeah.
that people like those segments. I had a little say in that. Did because like I said, we don't give like there's so many people behind closed doors, behind the scenes that people
Mhm.
don't recognize. Like production wise, shout outs to the production crew out there. They really were accommodating me so well. Any small fire that was there, they put it out quickly. They were very informative, very helpful. I appreciate them so much. Production is just such an underrated thing, and
Yeah.
they're just great guys. That was just a great ass team I worked with.
And that's really good to hear. Also, like I'm really happy that you weren't shy about having ideas. And I say that because I work in esports right outside of this show.
Mm.
And man, like esports is so boring. It's just the same shit over and over again. It's like, like there's even like the esports pose. Right?
Out
So
there doing
I'm
your thing,
super
bro.
yeah, so I'm super happy that A, you had the idea, and B, that they were like so cool to work with you on those and like just to make it a little bit cooler, man. Because that set looked so damn cool. That
Yeah,
set
they
looked
that
so cool.
artwork. I forgot to meet the person that actually made that artwork for all the skeletons. Like they drew that themselves. I was like, God damn, that it was so good. Mr. Aqua, he said, I want that Matara one so bad, so I made sure I had to save it for him too. Like there was such good artwork, so good people. I think I actually, don't tell anybody this, but I got the medal.
Ooh.
They had an extra one they gave it to me. I was like, ha,
Oh, that's
I'm a
sick.
Final Combat champion.
Dude, you did it.
Yeah.
You won. You,
I
you
won.
won you won the hosting of Final Combat. You're the best one.
No, no, big shout out to Sonic Fox. They did a great job out there.
Yeah.
Wrecking the competition is they're just so dumb. They're just amazing, truthfully. But yeah, it was just like really, it was a great time being out there and meeting so many people. That's the big thing I love about the FGC so much is the fellowship. Like, there's so many good people I like to meet. I don't ever look at a tournament as like a job or like work, and like people like, oh, they stress like, oh, I gotta win. I'm like, no, remember you joined the community because you want to have fun and play with your friends. And I'm just happy with the people I've met along in this journey. I've met some amazing ass fucking people. I can say I have at least one friend a part of at least one continent, part of every part of the world. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing. Like truthfully.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's like finding a community of everybody who's like so passionate about the same thing you are is so important. But I wanted to go back to another question from our Discord. This is from Squidly, who's hanging out in the chat as well.
Yeah, what's going on, Squilling? Shout out to chat.
Yeah, the chat's hanging out. Like
Shout
Ham
out to chat.
Jams is in here. We had Ham Jams on the show a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago. I think it's been a couple months now at this point. Man, time is flying.
Their
But
time is flying. God damn it.
yeah, dude, like July is next week. I'm dead. I'm gonna die. I'm kidding. Maybe.
No, you
No,
better not.
I'm joking.
You better
I'm
not.
joking.
You better not.
No, I'm joking. If I can help it, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
But what was your favorite part about hosting and Final Combat?
Definitely the fellas like me. There was so many people I like. You get to see, like, you get to watch the whole season, and then finally meeting them for the first time, like meeting Face Out from Lebanon, meeting Soul School from Australia, and seeing like everyone come together for the thing they love is just a beautiful sight. And seeing Canada and like exploring was actually very good too. That was my first time, like I said, in Toronto, so I was able to see the streets, meet the team. The matches were amazing, high level gameplay, and it's just a beautiful sight to see like we were like being in quarantine for so long, and then how a lot of like world tour events in general have been cut back, and people finally get to see the peak of all offline. Like for example, Sonic Fox didn't play too much during that quarantine, so
Hmm.
people was like, okay, this is going to be like its new era. And then Sonic Fox came through and quickly made people realize, hey, I'm still out here, and they are still going to be out there dominating. And people like have that mental and it's also cool because we have so many new players as well. And
Yeah.
that was a good part too. Like new players meeting the old players, and then like there's some new players like, oh, who's this new guy? I'm like, they've been playing since MK9. You just haven't seen them because they took a break during quarantine from MK11, but like they came back. Like that's the beauty. Like I just people meeting people and seeing different play styles, especially from other communities, seeing how Brazil uses a certain character versus how America uses a certain character. Like it's I love it. And that's across any fighting game. It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful sight. Just truly,
No,
it's an art.
dude, it's like when Pakistan burst into the Tekken scene, right? It's like
Man,
nobody thought about Pakistan, but sure
I
enough.
gotta say this real quick. I gotta say it. Arston really pissed me off. That man had the nerve to win Evo and got on stage and said, I'm not even the best in my region. I said, what kind of fucking flex? That man literally won Evo and Evo Japan and said, yeah, I'm not even the best in my region. Get the what do you mean you're not the best? That was insane to me, man.
Dude, it's crazy that like that just turned out to be like this pocket of like crazy ass Tekken. Um, and yeah, and it's crazy because like that happens a lot in Mortal Kombat too, right? And that was something
Yep.
you pointed out is like it felt like there were so many people from everywhere playing. I remember watching what was it was the Last Chance qualifier where there was like a couple of representatives from Brazil who like almost made it through the whole
Yes,
thing.
South America is so underrated, and that's the one beauty thing. I know people got mad at the kind of format for MK as well as for Street Fighter 2, is because I be telling people like people don't understand how blessed you are to be in the US because most of the events happen here. And I'm like, I really need you people to understand that like there's people that's in South America, that's in Asia, that's in Africa that are begging for to not even go to like a big one like CEO Combo Breaker Evo, to go to a ECT, to
Mhm.
go to a Texas Showdown just to show off their skills because they just don't get the opportunity. There's so many, as someone said in chat, like there's always bigger fish. Like there's
Yeah.
so many people that are out there that have the ability to win. They just don't have the exposure yet. And like I be telling people, like give it the chance. And that's why I love that both the pro tour had regional like lock that people were
Mhm.
guaranteed from certain regions to
Yeah.
come over. Like for example, Capcom Cup. People was not watching the China region at all of Asia when it came to ICFC, and Uma was dominating.
Yeah.
And then Uma won combat. They was like, "Oh my god, who is this guy?" He was dominating the whole time. Y'all just didn't know about him because he just didn't get the opportunity to come over here. Like
Yeah.
those the type of things.
Yeah, no, and I grew up in Brazil, so like just getting a visa to get to the U.S. from Brazil is like it feels like a miracle
Man,
when it happens. So, like
man,
seeing that many people come from Brazil and like really like, pardon my French, fuck shit up, was really sick. Was really sick. Did
yeah.
you have a
NRS really
favorite?
did a good job because
No, go ahead.
Canada they made sure that's why they put it in Canada so the visa was a little easier to process. That's why I'm
Oh,
really glad
that's
they
so
did that.
smart.
Like
So
that was
smart.
that's why they did that. So I was really happy that a lot of the Brazilian community, anybody like it was a smooth sailing for Tekken Master. He had took like a 16-hour flight from Bahrain to Dubai to come here.
Oof.
Like it was like like it was really smooth for a lot of them. So I was just grateful that Canada was approved for that. So yeah.
Yeah. Were there any like I know seems like a bit of a loaded or unfair question because I'm sure there were too many to pick. But was there anything that surprised you at Final Combat gameplay wise?
Um, Not really because like when it came to like with community, one of the strongest communities I feel like is our South American community, especially in Brazil, because they're so passionate, and especially like the Chilean twins where they come from, like they're
Hmm.
so passionate out there. And like one of my favorite thing I bring up is the Brazilian game show. During the
Mm.
Brazilian game show, everyone thought like all the American players that was going out there was gonna be free, it's gonna be simple. Bro, there was like in top 32, there was like 12 Sonyas in MK11 that was messing people up from Brazil. And the crowd was so explosive. I was like, I want to go to that event so bad. I want to go to an event in Brazil so bad. Like they were there's so many, it's so much good talent. So like there's nothing too much surprised me because I knew the caliber of players that were going to come through. I know how hungry some of those players are to prove themselves. Shout out
Yeah.
to Guy Exceptional who won the LCQ. He's from Brazil,
Yeah.
and yeah, he did it in a great fashion, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I never knew Mortal Kombat was as big as it is until I moved to the US.
Okay,
And so I grew up in the city. I grew up in Rio, right? So like I didn't have
okay.
much in the sense of like like I could stay inside and play video games, or go outside and potentially get hurt because it was a dangerous area. So I feel like maybe that's like a shared experience that Brazilians have, where it's like, well, I'm inside. I've got Mortal Kombat. This is sick. Might as well just keep playing it. But yeah. Anyway, that tangent, just my brain.
No, it's just completely fine. No, like definitely, like that community is amazing. I want to go down there. I hope I get a chance to go out there next year to see them and go out to an event. They definitely asked about it when I was at Final Combat. Some of the Brazilian crew had came up there. I want to go so bad because I want to see that scene, and I want to. So I want to meet all those people. Like they're just so great. Like it's such amazing things out there.
Yeah. No, it's something I've realized is that like they're like people in Brazil, and I'm sure like there's a lot of countries outside of the U.S. too. Is like I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe like a self-protective thing that happens here in the U.S. and some other regions where like people are afraid to get excited about stuff, or they're afraid of loving something, right?
Yeah.
Where in Brazil, it's like even if they don't know what's happening, like people would just like gather in a crowd and just like cheer for like whatever is happening, right? So, yeah, and I know
people
exactly
afraid to get frowned upon.
Yeah, and I know exactly
people don't like to be the oddball.
Yeah, it's like whatever that fear of like rejection or of standing out is like
literally they just don't want to be like they don't want to be that oddball out because some people like want to be inclusive when it comes. I didn't mean to interrupt, but like so many people want to be like inclusive in that sense, especially in America. Because if you're that one guy that's cheering something on, and everybody else gonna look at you like, okay, weirdo. Like there's that lack of expression here. Like like truthfully, like so yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, but I know the exact Brazilian game show you're talking about because I watched it as well, and I was like, "Damn, Brazil showed up!" And
that energy was crazy,
dude. And
my
Ed Boon like filmed a whole thing introducing Kano in Portuguese when they were showing off Kano in Mortal Kombat 11, I think. So the fact that like Ed Boon went as far as to like do the entire thing in Portuguese was sick, and like seeing NRS kind of share the show love in that sense was also really sick. So like it goes both ways, where NRS is showing love in Brazil, like showing love back, man. Actually, all the regions, dude. Like I was shocked that we didn't have like the Chilean twins run up like 1 and 2 like they did at Evo this past year, I think.
We talk about in Final Combat.
Yeah.
You
The
talk about like first and second.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna be first and second like they were at Evo this past year.
Yeah, no. This is a different game, different things to adjust, a different pressure too. Because like there was some people like, boy, are they nervous? I'm like, this is the first time in 5 years. The last Final 2020, so 4 years. The last Final Combat we had, pro competition we had was 4 years ago. All these players have been doing like their thing, like in their own set, but they've never been in a world-class setting with literally the best of each region in this sense, and never had to go along this pressure, especially with a person like Sonic on the horizon too. They've never dealt with that. There were definitely nerves in there, and there was definitely people that was definitely shaking in their boots. I tell people this all the time. It is different when you are in a world tour setting and you're in a finale setting because stakes are higher and there's a lot more. It's like it's something, if you haven't experienced, you can be on the Evo stage and all that, but like being on the like a thing set only for you, like that world finals, it's different. It's definitely different from you. I'm not taking away from Evo, but there's a different feeling from Evo being on a Tekken World Tour final, the Capcom Cup finale in top 8 versus Evo top 8. It definitely is.
Yeah. No, and what's really funny is like that doesn't hit you until you're on stage and doing it.
Literally.
And by that time, it's way too late.
Like, god damn, the lights are on me. The people are watching. There's people cheering me on. There's people cheering them on. I just realized who my opponent is. This is actually crazy. And the moment can definitely get big for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, but hey, here's hoping that like next year, less nerves all around. But I wanted to ask you specifically about some stuff about Mortal Kombat 1. So Mortal Kombat 1 is a huge departure from kind of how the game has played in the past.
Indeed.
How do you feel about it?
Change is good because you need to change so you can figure out what you want to use your direction for the future. I always tell people you can't you can't say that you want different in your life and you're not willing to go through change to make that happen. You got to change something in order if you want different outcomes in your life. So for MK1, it's the most casual out of all the fighting games. I do admit, out of all the FGC games, it's one of the most casual base, and a lot of them have never been introduced to a tag fighter. Me, I played Dragon Ball. I played a little Marvel, but I played Dragon Ball heavy, Dragon Ball fighters. So I understood the tag elements. I understand how assist fighter works. A lot of people don't understand the fact that you can play like as and then have an assist cover you. They never experienced that before. So that's why a lot of the fan base was pretty much split down the line. Alongside of, it was definitely a rough start because we didn't have crossplay. Guilty Gear had crossplay, Street Fighter had crossplay, Tekken 8 has crossplay. Off rip, we didn't have crossplay. It's already bad enough that we're already split when it comes to as a group already. So you got your Xbox players, your PC players, and your PlayStation players. Now that we don't have crossplay in a new game, that's tough. Thank God they added in later, and we have that, and it's pretty functional. But I will say it was a rough start. But right now, in the state of the game, of course, you gotta have your top tier characters and everything like that. But I really do like the state of the game. It's really nice. I wish people give it another chance. Because I do admit, first look, I can definitely see why people will turn their backs away and look away from the game. I completely understand. But now I say it's a fleshed out game and it is better. And it's definitely some place that is definitely going to even improve even more, and it's more developed, I will say. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I 1000% agree with you, especially because it's something so new. To not necessarily new to Mortal Kombat, because I guess they had like the tag mode in MK9, but I think because it's focused so heavily on it, I feel like it still needs to the community needs to adjust to it a little bit, because it's such a crazy departure, especially because I think the biggest complaint between MKX and MK11 was that Mortal Kombat 11 was a lot slower, right? Because MKX was just so rush down heavy.
Man, they was flying. We gotta talk about this real quick. Y'all was flying across the world for first to 2 MKX. That is fucking insane, brother. Holy shit. And I was watching that. It was entertaining as hell. Oh, yeah. I wasn't going through that. They was, but like, holy shit. But yeah, it's definitely like a change of pace where I say MKX was like, well, a peak for a lot of people. It definitely got for production and everything like that. Like everyone remembers Fatal 8 and how like the invitational stuff happened, and it had definitely had a lot of momentum. MK11 only left a lot of people a bad taste in the mouth because it was a great game, but because when quarantine hit and they had to sadly stop support on the game, people got kind of sick of it, and then like it got stale to a lot of people, so that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, especially when there was a lack of communication from and the rest of us. So that's understandable. A lot of people, unfortunately, like rest in peace to all those, but a lot of us lost someone during that quarantine during that COVID time. So it was rough. So when it came to communication, so it was like that with a mixture of like emotions and whatnot. It hurt it. And then MK1 came out abruptly, crazily, and with a whole new system that people like was like, whoa, this is really different from MK from what it usually is. Like you had said, a whole different departure. So it is definitely like that. Like, I see the game speed you talking about, and it's definitely something that certain people are used to, and there's the reason why the community is split up the way it is. But like I said, with given time, when people like really try to, like, it's too many people that hop on the bandwagon and say, as soon as they hear, oh, that person says it's disappointing, okay, I'm not gonna play it. Why not try it yourself? You don't know what your favorite piece of cake was until you tried it. You didn't know your favorite flavor of ice cream until you tried it. You got to try it yourself. You can't always go off of what everyone else reviews it, because you might have missed out on the best thing of your life. And I'm talking about okay wise, but that's the best thing of your life because you listened to what someone else said. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1000%. Especially like recently too. With I feel like the FGC is kind of getting to the point where like there's a lot of people who just spectate, which is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing, right? Like people just spectating. I never would have thought, like, if you would have asked me like even like 6 years ago that somebody would go to Evo or somebody would go to a tournament just to watch, I would have thought you were crazy. But now that's like,
it's
what happens.
Crazy actually, because like I legit at Combo Breaker 2023 when I went up there was this guy who came up to be like, yo, what's going on? I was like, oh, he was like, oh yeah, you do Coliseum with Aqua. I'm just a random YouTube viewer. I just came to watch this for the first time. This is amazing. I'm like, you don't have any like social anything like that? He's like, I just really just came to just watch. This place, this Combo Break is amazing. These events are amazing, and I've been seeing that a lot. As you said, I've just seen that a lot more. Like we have a lot more people. One of my best friends actually, she actually just straight up got into the scene because of quarantine. She was like, all right, what's going on? I used to dabble with Mortal Kombat. What goes on with this? She found ESL doing for MK11, the online only weekly brackets, and just started just literally. She said, oh, she's like, this Evo. I'm gonna go to Evo, and she just was walking around Evo by herself, just having a great time. Like it's so crazy how many viewers are out there for real. Like I do agree with that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like the one bad side is since there are people who don't go to compete, like there's a lot of people who just take other people's words at face value, right?
Yes.
So, but I 1000% agree with what you put it so eloquently. Like you never knew what your favorite slice of cake was until you tried it. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna keep that one.
You never do. No problem. No, you can take it. Because I probably stole it from someone else anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, man.
Yes, it definitely is. You're not lying about it.
So we are a little over. Are you okay with me asking like one or two more questions?
Oh no, I don't mind at all. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Okay, sick.
As long as you don't mind me taking a swig of water.
Do it up. So with what we were talking about, how it took Mortal Kombat like a little bit of time to catch some steam. Do you like what do you see Mortal Kombat 1 being this time next year? Like, do you have any predictions, as it were, or any expectations?
I really hope the fan base grows, but it's so tough right now when Twitter and like social media has this sense of when something is already getting negative views, people don't try it themselves. Like for example, a lot of people write off Cyberpunk 2077 because of the bugs that happened in the beginning, and now it's a very solid game because of like all the patches and whatnot. But like how long it took to get to that point, people like look at that wise. So like I would like to see more people give it a chance if possible. I definitely see it being more developed and more fleshed out because across the board, this is some of the most balanced fighting games we've had ever. Like Street Fighter 6 was Street Fighter 6 was one of the most balanced fighting games I've ever seen in my life. So the point is like, how do you buff anybody? Because like for example, like when we saw Lily and Zangief, for example, they was like, okay, they're just slightly on the weaker end of the characters, but it was like, what do you give them that you don't make them now instantly top 5? Because that's how balanced the game is at this point in time. That's how I feel about most of the cast of MK. Strive for the most part, I feel like is in that category too. And then Tekken with the heat system definitely makes everything's equalized well. Bro, we saw Kuma in Grand Finals of DreamHack Dallas. That was like legit. Holy hell! We see a character that's literally like amongst the online rankings, the least 5 of the most used characters. Kuma was actually in Grand Finals. So we definitely in a state in the game where everyone every game is like in a fair playing field. So it's just a beautiful time. It truthfully is a beautiful time. So I feel like just more people just need to give it a chance and stop listening to what everyone else says and just try things for yourself. Because it's just like you said, it's too many people that take things at face value, just listen to what everyone else says. I'm like, bro, you have different interactions, but you have a different perspective than everyone else, bro. Like, oh my God, perspective is key. Perspective is key. If I draw a 6 on the ground right now, opposite of us, it's going to look like a 6 to me, but it's going to look like a 9 to you. Like, come on, think. But people don't do that, so yeah.
Yeah, dude. And everybody's brain is wired differently, right? Like, that's something that we all have to... It's difficult to remember that for some reason. It's oddly tricky. But to your point about the games being super balanced, we saw a Combo Breaker, El Shakote winning with Lily, who everybody says is the worst character in the game.
I was happy for my boy.
Yeah.
I was happy for my... Actually, I never thought she was the worst. She was the first character I learned. I learned her on Modern because I knew she was going to be dumb. Ooh. I knew that character. I was like, I know she's going to be weak right now. But she is one buff away. One buff. Well, I know she's going to be stupid. She's the first character I learned on Modern because I wanted to see what she did. And I was like, man, this this is crazy. This is actually insane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. El Shakote is also a Midwest guy, right?
Yeah, he's Michigan.
Oh, cool. So since last year, because I think Just the Kid took...
He also dabbled in MK too.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. So interesting. So Street Fighter has been defended in the home turf at Combo Breaker since last year, because last year Just the Kid won it. This year, that's pretty sick. That's
technically so.
Yeah, and then the year before, not the year before that. Was it the year before that they had the Midwest versus West Coast When was that?
Yeah, we did. It was that's when Just a Kid went crazy.
Yeah.
I remember. Ham can definitely probably attest for that. Ham definitely has the details of that because he probably won some money that weekend. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. But yeah, that was actually insane.
Yeah, the FGC stock exchange was popping off, I'm sure.
Man, nothing better than side bets at events. Like looking at side bets during the actual state, like man, it's a beautiful sight. Oh, I love offline so much. I cannot wait for CEO. It's gonna be such a great time.
Dude, yeah, so you're
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
there. Are you do you have any predictions for like who's gonna take some tournaments?
Street Fighter Tekken is hard because if you guys do not know, the top two get flown out for EWC. That counts towards the Esports World Cup. So
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
it's
that.
gonna be people it's really slipped a lot, and then it's also a Tekken World Tour event for Tekken as well, alongside it being EWC for top two. So that is
Ooh.
like I don't know how to call that because I saw JDCRs coming. It's some heavy hitters coming from Tekken and Street Fighter, and just because it's top two compared to DreamHack Dallas and DreamHack Summer being top 8 get in, top 2 being that cutthroat, whoever gets third is salty.
Oh,
Whoever loses finals is like, oh, I'm gonna find you and buy you a shot, brother. Like, oh, I know you're gonna be upset. That's not gonna be good. But yeah, I could not call Tekken and I could not call Street Fighter because Dude's coming. What Dude's already in, and Men is already in, and then Punk is already in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's really the foreigners just trying to get in a lot of those cases, and I don't think we have a single American in Tekken thus far. Actually,
I don't think so.
Off the top of my head, I don't think there's a single American actually in the Tekken for EWC.
I'm trying to remember. I think I'm trying to remember which American made it the farthest, and I think it was like Joey Fury or Joe Crush.
Yeah,
Joey Fury and Joe Crush had to play each other.
Yeah,
I remember.
They were actually. So Joey Fury got 9th at Dallas, and Joe Crush got 9th in Dallas. He got 13th, and I believe Joey Fury also went to Summer, and he also got. I think he got 13th there too. Yeah, we've had some Americans get close, but yeah, no cigar.
Yeah. No cigar. Well, let's stick with MK then. Let's stick with MK. Like, are there any big killers coming to MK in?
Oh yeah, it's Dialogue, Rewind, Too Easy, Samij. That's off the top of my head. I know those guys. I have Dialogue. I predict Dialogue could take that.
Dialogue.
Yeah, we have. I think they said it was like 120 people signed up. So it could be some hand killers there too. It's always at least one person, like at enemy bracket. You go to the name. He's like, who the hell took out? Who is that? And I'm talking about for any tournament. You just like, who is that? Who's this? Like for example, like if you I don't want to go too a tangent again, but like Mena made that tweet about the person that he played in the first round and he lost, and he was complaining. He's like, what does CD matter? I'm like, and I retweet. I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking honest, bro. There's just a lot of good fucking people with Street Fighter right now. If we being real, like back in the day, you remember back in the day, you didn't have to worry about anything till top 32 when you got into brackets. Now it's dead as top 196 is literally a bloodbath. Yeah, like especially big tournaments like that. Like it's not top 32 anymore. One night you get to 192, it's like, oh my god, everyone in my path is like shit. That it's too much, bro. It's really too much now. There's a lot of good fighting game players now. The skill gap has closed so much because you don't have people gatekeeping the arcades anymore. You don't have and you have all the YouTube content for people to look up like strats and whatnot and share tech via Twitter and YouTube. Like it's not, the skill gap is closing. A lot of people are just good now. It's just truthfully that.
Yeah. No, dude, and the fact that like you can just watch replays of everybody now, it's like so widely accessible. It's so good. I love this kind of stuff, man. And nowhere else can you get something like that but the FGC, where it's like everybody, like everybody can play. You just show up and
anybody can cook.
Yeah, and
anybody can cook.
Everybody has to pay the same entrance fee. Like that to me is like my favorite fucking thing about the FGC is like everybody can play. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're like just there for fun or whether you're a Daigo. Everybody pays the same entrance fee.
It's actually amazing.
Man,
I love it.
So Tento, it is getting to about that time, but before we go, before we started the stream here, you said you're really bad about plugging your stuff, so I'm gonna make you plug your stuff. Where can people find you?
All my socials are pretty much at either Tento4 or Tento4_. Twitch is at Tento4. Everything else is at Tento4_. So feel free to follow me on that. IG, Twitter, Twitch. Like I say, I have a lot of throwback streams. I have a PS2 and a GameCube right next to me, so I'll go back and do throwback games quite frequently. And then we crazy do watch parties. If I'm not going to an event, I did a watch party for DreamHack Dallas. I did a watch party for DreamHack Summer, and I get my insights on things like that. You want to come chill with me? I talk shit. We have fun. Trying to go my YouTube as well. YouTube is at Tento4. I've been more on that. I've been trying to make more shorts and trying to be more active on there. And I will be more disciplined to be active on there. I will grow as a content creator. I will be great. So we're going to start doing that. But I do appreciate everyone who's shown love and all that. Most MK content, no. On my YouTube, I'm actually trying to do like more playthroughs. It's going to be like probably my shorts will be like stream segments and like things about the FGC, like catching up wise. But like my actual channel, I'm probably going to do like more like this. I feel like it's too many like younger kids that don't know about like the classic PS2 games we have, like Sly Cooper and like Ratchet and Clank. So I want to play like those games from like my perspective, because I either haven't even played some of those games or I haven't played some of those games in a long time and have a fresh face for that too. So that's what I want to do for my YouTube channel. But there'll be some MK videos and probably Street Fighter videos here and there too.
Got it. I just wanted to pull this out because you're talking about retro games. The best game ever made right here, man.
Oh my God, Just Set Radio. I got a whole PS2 stack right here next to me. I'm not even kidding. Like,
dude, all right, let's compare. I have my PS2 stack over here too. I got Prince of Persia.
Sly Cooper. I got Sly Cooper 3. Here's Armageddon.
Ooh, I got Battlefront 2.
I got Battlefront 2, and I got the GOAT game right here.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Hit and Run's good.
I found freaking Star Fox Assault on GameCube. That thing cost me $60, but I got it. I was happy as hell.
Dude, I got the best SSX one. Don't at me.
Oh my God, I found one. On GameCube. I need to get that as well. I got True Crime.
Right, dude, I remember playing the shit out of True Crime.
Like my whole PS2 stack is like, I got I don't want to knock over the stack. I got TMNT, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Damn, I remember playing the shit out of Spider-Man 2, man. Is that the PlayStation 2 one?
Right, I actually got the classic. So I got the Spider-Man 2.
Dude,
right here.
That
and I have the GOAT.
Ooh, I also have Gex 3.
Oh,
I might be dating myself. I also have I bought this like recently. Jammer Lammy. This game is so sick. God. If you haven't played it, it's like it's the sequel to Parappa that everybody wants. Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh man.
Yeah.
I've heard so much about Shadow the Hedgehog, but I've never played it.
We got so many good ones. So yeah, I definitely have my collection of my PS2 and GameCube games, and I do like to do throwback streams on occasion to play those.
We'll have to get together and play something sometime soon. Then we'll play some.
We will.
Play some. I don't know, like fucking Battlefront 2 or something. I don't know. Like
Battlefront 2 sound. Bro, I need the good one, please.
Pathos, I do have your copy of D. Pathos is my mod. He sent me a copy of D like in 2013, which is like a PlayStation 1 game where you have 2 hours to beat the game or else you just lose. That game is wild.
W mod.
That game is wild. All right. Well, Lord Tento, look, I'm gonna give you a follow so I can go hang out and learn about fighting games and classic games, because honestly, like that's right up my alley too. So, but I'm super happy you came here to chat with me a little bit. I wish we had more time, but unfortunately, I got some shit going on, so I have to sign off.
Understandable.
I hate that. With that said, though, can we schedule you again? We'll keep this conversation going.
Of course. Oh, hell yeah! I would love to be back here anytime.
Hell yeah! All right. Then we'll schedule something. We'll get you back on here. We'll talk some shit. Talk not shit. Share some pizza. Play some classic games and just shoot the shit. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Shoot the shit, not talk shit.
Shoot the shit. I like that. Shoot the shit.
All right, and that is Tento4 _ except for Twitch, where it's twitch.tv/Tento. There you are in the chat. All right, Tento, any final thoughts before we depart?
Drink water, take your vitamins, and make sure you love those who are around you. Make sure you tell them you love them and hug them, please. Please hug them.
That's a really good point. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go do that. And you have safe travels because you're gonna be at CEO. So safe.
I leave on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, safe travels. Get there safe and enjoy that beach for me, will you? Because I went last year and I barely went to my hotel room. It was either the convention center or I was just laying on the beach. That shit was
and Jabali Land too. Yeah.
Jabali Land. Damn, I'm missing out. I'm missing out. All right.
Hey, it's gonna be nice. You're gonna go next year.
I'll be watching out for you. I'll be watching out for you. All right, man. Thank you so much. We'll get you back on the show soon.
All right, no problem. Peace
out. All right, ladies and gents, that was Tento. You can find him everywhere at Tento4_. I'm really happy we got him, man. He did such a cool, he did such a great job at Final Kombat, and I think he fit the vibe so well. So I'm really happy we got him here to talk a little bit. Very, very fun. Big thanks to Tento. Big thanks to Tento gifting subs in here. Man, Tento, dude, everybody give Tento a round of applause, will you? Will you? Thank you, Tento. I appreciate you, man. We'll definitely have you back on the show ASAP. But for now, we got to get on out of here. Bison is out tomorrow. Keep a tabs on the Twitter. And I'll let you know when I'm going live. For those of you listening to the audio version of this podcast, thank you. For those of you listening to the audio version, for those of you on YouTube, for those of you here on Twitch, for those of you everywhere, thank you so much for being here. Some free ways that you can help support the show is if you're listening to the audio version, you can give us a review, preferably a 5-star one. And you could say things like, hey, this show is great, and I listen to it on the daily. I'm kidding. Please don't listen to me on the daily. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe, and you can also give this a thumbs up. That's always fun. If you're on Twitch, just a follow. And if you feel so inclined to subscribe, do it. But, I don't recommend it. But that's going to be all for me today. So once again, big thanks to Tento for being here, for gifting some subs, and for chatting with us. This was really fun. Big thanks to Automatic for popping on, and Automatic for playing some Chain Together with me earlier today. Big thanks to, I saw Ham Jams in the chat. Ham Jams, it's good to see you. I still hate your geef, and I'm still salty about that match. I don't want to play you again. I'm just going to be salty for the rest of my life, and that's okay. Happy to see you here, Ham Jams. Animate Sam drew some of our emotes, so please thank them. See Forrest, Later Ragan, Squidly, Pathos. I saw Automatic. I don't know. There's too many. There's a lot of you. I appreciate you all. I'm out of here for the day. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thank you guys. And until then, it's going to be Tuesday soon because Bison's not out yet. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.